Hello, everyone. It's Rich. Thank you for joining me today for our daily bread. Yep, there it is. It is Monday, January 26th, the day after Snowmageddon. We have 10, 11 inches of snow. Yay. But today's reading is from Jonah, chapter 2, verses 1 to 2 and 7 to 10, and chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. From inside the fish, Jonah prayed to the Lord his God. Jonah 2:1. Mercy in our mess. During Sunday school, my patience with 3-year-old Peter was wearing thin. He was unhappy, unkind to the other kids, and absolutely refused to be content. Even when we offered him the most coveted toys, my pity turned to annoyance. If he stubbornly persisted in being difficult, then fine, I'll send him back to his parents and he would miss out on all the fun. Too often I find my compassion has conditions. If someone ignores my advice or refuses my help, then they don't deserve it anymore. Fortunately, God doesn't act that way toward us. The prophet Jonah experienced his great mercy after a time of stubborn disobedience when God commanded him to travel and preach to Nineveh. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, sorry. Defiantly choosing the opposite direction, Jonah was caught in a terrible storm, set adrift at sea, and then swallowed by a great fish. A self-made disaster. When Jonah finally prayed to the Lord his God, God was still listening to him, ready to forgive his reluctant prophet. Jonah was delivered from the fish and graciously given a second chance to go to Nineveh. In little Peter's case, a trip to the playground consoled him. A brilliant idea by a helper with more patience than I had shown. How beautiful is mercy that continually seeks us out, even in the middle of our own mess. The two questions. Well, number 1, why do you sometimes struggle to offer mercy to others? Me personally, I feel like they don't deserve it. I judge that they don't need it, they don't deserve it, they're not good enough. And then the second one is, when have you seen God's love seek out even the most difficult recipients? When a friend of mine that I used to know, someone I used to have a relationship with, got cancer. And he asked me to pray for him. And he's an atheist. So, Jonah, we'll go to the Bible. Jonah 2, chapter 2, verses 1 and 2, and then 7 and 10. And then chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. All right, chapter 2, 1 and 2. Then Jonah prayed to the Lord his God from the fish's belly. And he said, I cried out to the Lord because of my affliction, and he answered me. Out of the belly of Sheol I cried, and you heard my voice. Verses 7 through 10. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer went up to you into your holy temple. Those who regard worthless idols forsake their own mercy, but I will sacrifice to you with the voice of thanksgiving. I will pay what I have vowed. Salvation is of the Lord. So the Lord spoke to the fish, and it vomited Jonah on the dry land. Chapter 3, verses 1 through 3. Now the word of the Lord came to Jonah the second time, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and preach to it the message that I tell you. So Jonah arose and went to Nineveh, according to the word of the Lord. Now Nineveh was an exceedingly great city, a 3-day journey in extent. And Jonah began to enter the city on the first day's walk. Then he cried out and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. So the people of Nineveh believed God, proclaimed a fast, and put on sackcloth from the greatest to the least of them. God still loves us, even when we don't listen. Okay? Maybe we should be like Jesus. Just take a little bit of that. Be like God, which is what the whole purpose of this is. To be more God-like, more like Christ, more understanding, more, just more. All right, just something to think about. Y'all have a great day, and God bless. And always remember, God loves you, and so do I.